worked. Fantastic. Good afternoon. My name is Nadia. I am the Heritage Coordinator at Stanwick Lakes here in Northamptonshire. I haven't created a PowerPoint display today, mainly because I'm not very good at it. And so I'm going to talk for a little while and then show you a wonderful video. Just a bit of background for those of you that may not have heard of us. Stanwick Lakes is a 750-acre nature reserve in East Northamptonshire. And we are working our way towards telling our heritage story and being more of a heritage centre there as well. We are a site of SSSI, so Site of Special Scientific Interest. So we are very popular with bird watchers, families, and people that want to come and explore the surrounding countryside and also go to our play areas. The area of Stanwick, what is now Stanwick Lakes, was quarried extensively during the 1980s and 90s. And as that was going on, there was a very large scale archaeological excavation in the area that flooded over into our reserve, what is now our reserve area. With that, they found an absolutely extraordinary amount of human history, going back as far as Neolithic all the way through to medieval. And part of our roles at Stanwick Lake now are to tell that story and interpret it for our communities and for our volunteers. Stanwick Lakes now has a visitor centre and we're developing a museum. My job and Becky's job is to create, as part of the heritage team, a legacy for our visitors. Previous National Lottery heritage funded projects have included the creation of a craft barn for traditional crafting, a schools programme where we visited local schools in our community to work alongside them and their curriculum. And on our most recent project, we have been exploring the Bronze and Iron Age history of our site. This has delved us into 4 different project areas, which I'll go through very briefly. So one of the areas, we have been planning and building a Iron Age replica roundhouse to develop part of our site into an Iron Age settlement. We have our big Bronze Age boat build, which is exactly that. A group of very hardy volunteers quite literally chipping away at lime logs to create replica log boats using only bronze tools. Our relationship with the Northamptonshire Guild of Spinners, Weavers and Dyers has really developed over the last couple of years. They are now based with us once a week on site, and they have been exploring Iron Age textiles and researching and using the Hallstatt textiles and Holdernose woman to replicate the actual garments of these peoples and these discoveries. And we've been developing our legacy heritage gardens that were once used for medieval medicinal plants into those that now include Iron Age grains and native plants and plants used for natural dyeing. We've managed to forge some amazing partnerships over the years, and a lot of these have continued to feed into our legacy projects. We've been able to create a really special, unique and hands-on experience for our visitors and our volunteers, and trying to get them really to understand what heritage means to them as an individual or a group, which is why we want so many of our activities to be as hands-on as possible. We've all seen the positive impact that these activities and these event days have on visitors and the public that visit us. And that is what really fuels us to continue this journey and to do more and to plan more going into the future. As my colleagues will tell you, I would quite happily stand and talk heritage for hours if prompted, but I'm not going to. We wanted to show the human side of well-being, and I think it is something that's been discussed a number of times over this conference, how it can be difficult to collect data, the correct data, to prove to funders and policymakers that these types of activities do have a real positive change on well-being. And I think sometimes we can not forget, but maybe the human side of it and their experience can take a bit of a back seat. So the rest of my section is going to be a video that we put together of our volunteers that are involved in our current heritage projects, with them saying in their own words what their involvement has meant to them.
For me, it's about getting out in the fresh air. It's a challenge, something I've enjoyed doing. And also, I think mostly, it's about giving something back to this place, of looking to rediscover the heritage of this site and share it with the visitors who come here.
It's bonding. We've made great friends, and for me, it takes away the stress that I have at home, and here I can relax and enjoy my time with fellow workers, or fellow weavers, spinners and dyers.
My experience of being here, coming to a new area and coming here and making friends and enjoying what we do.
I've enjoyed particularly sharing craft skills with other people who come to the barn, making new friends, and with the visitors that come in as well.
In working with the heritage has meant an awful lot in terms of teamwork, and the friendships we've made with each other has been amazing. Come down here every week and now know each other very, very well, and it's reassuring that there's friendship going on all the time, as well as hard work.
If I'm feeling really stressed, it de-stresses me. It's lovely being out in the fresh air, brilliant people to work with. If you're having a down day, it's very uplifting, and it's very positive. It's never negative, it's always positive. And you learn such a lot. We've learnt masses, which is good. So that's me.
I just like being outside. I love being outside. I love the physical side of it. I'm not so good at the planning side of it, but the physical side, and the result. The result is just wonderful, looking around and seeing what we've achieved over the years. Really good.
So I like being here because when I retired, I didn't really know what I was going to do. And then I came down here, found something that I could really get into. I've been working in an office for years and years, so doing something outdoors was great. It gave me a structure for my week, and it's lovely to see what we've achieved and be able to share it with lots of other people. Because your own garden is just for you, but the gardens here we can share with visitors, and they really love what we're doing. A lot of them have shared our journey with us, so they've seen how all of the gardens have developed over the years, and that makes us feel really, really proud.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed building a team. Obviously, as crafters, we're all used to doing our thing individually, but we've learned to work as a team, doing things that we could never have any of us managed to do individually.
Yes, excellent. Also, as well, to be able to come and be involved with the project and knowing what the Iron Age people were doing, and having to be able to spin to their equivalent has been absolutely brilliant. And we've managed it. We've managed to spin very, very finely, and we've managed to contribute towards the Iron Age project.
We've had so much interest from the public when they've actually been passing the barn and coming in to see what we're doing, and how interested they are on what we're doing and what we've achieved.
I think for me, one of the highlights has been casting the bronze tools and learning a skill that I've never had the opportunity to practice before. And again, understanding that this is how these tools were made something like 4,000 years ago.
I think one of the highlights for me has been seeing some of the really unusual plants we've got in here, such as the dragon lily, which is a really rare plant, and it smells disgusting, but the visitors love to come in and see it and watch it growing and speculate about it and watch the flies getting caught in it. So that's one of the highlights.
And for me, I think, is learning to do the orchard. I just done a little course on fruit pruning, and we set up the orchard, the heritage orchard, with really ancient trees. have to be local to the area. It was really interesting, really good fun, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think that's one of my highlights.
I think my highlight is the roundhouse and the new roundhouse and the garden we're creating up there. That's really impactful on people who are walking by. We get fantastic interaction with walkers and families,
what about our willow weaving the fences?
Yes,
that was
absolutely.
really good. We've loved that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Learning how to do ancient, medieval and Iron Age willow weaving fences. I think we've all enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It's been a big highlight.
You've got something to show at the end of the day. People are interested. One of the highlights was clearing the ground in the first place, digging huge great holes by hand. And the other highlight, building this, was putting the roof on, which actually took a long time.
I think the highlight for me is watching all these friends of mine, which I now really do call friends, as opposed to just volunteers. And yeah, their ability to adapt themselves and just have a good laugh, make it entertaining.
We love Dave.
Involvement.
Bonding.
In one word, fellowship.
I'll go community.
Fun.
Achievement.
Socialising.
Community.
Empowerment.
Achievement.
Teamworking.
Friendship.
I couldn't have put it better than them. And just to very quickly close, one, I promise there was no bribery involved in them making that video, all very much their own words. There was many edits that went into that video because they would have quite happily talked about it for a very long time. The wonderful thing about how our heritage projects at Stanwick Lakes has developed is that they have developed very organically to fill a need rather than create a need. And I think it's worth understanding, especially with community-based projects, that over planning can be a thing. We've learned that sometimes less planning is best. We provided the outline for what our end outcome wanted to be, and it was these groups of individuals that took us on that journey and decided the steps and did the planning and the designing and made the suggestions of how these projects could move forward. It's them that's made our project so amazing and organically making them very people-centered. As many people have said over the last 2 days, we are the believers. We know that heritage has a positive impact on well-being. And we do honestly believe that our shared passion and experiences have created a wonderful heritage community at Stanwick Lakes. Thank you very much.